We like sports cars. We like grand tours. Is there a class of vehicle that lives in between them? I believe there is, and I believe it's this one right here. This is the 2025 BMW M4, and it straddles the line between technologically advanced and delightfully analog because this one has the manual gearbox. What do you think? So on the outside, yes, let's talk about it because it's literally the first thing you see when you walk up to the car. It looks like Peppa Pig, especially in this color scheme. This is a one-off, maybe not one-off, but it's through BMW's individual plan. Oh, vintage Mercedes. It's through BMW's individual plan. You cannot order this one directly on the regular configurator. This is Ruby Star Neo, which I believe is a Porsche 911 color, interestingly enough. I think the color is fun. Any color is better than black, gray, or white. This isn't for me. I wouldn't order it this way, but I think it's fun that people would. I think it is a fun color that you can order. They have some other great colors on. There's an Isle of Man green that you can order that is a fantastic color. And then there's a couple really nice greens through the BMW individual. This paint though, just so you know, is $4,500, which compared to Porsche's paint to sample colors isn't bad. Just regular paint, yeah, it's expensive. But this one is wearing a nice optional wheel. I think it's nice that it doesn't have black wheels. You can't get past the face. The face is ugly. The rest of the car I think looks fine. It had this one for $25. It gets new headlights. I think the taillights are slightly redesigned. They have lasers in them now for some reason. Move inside. The interior is nicely laid out. BMW always does a good job of making their interior smart, even if I think the display has too many little apps on it, but the display responsiveness is nice. This gets the curved display now for 2025. So it's about 14.9 inches off to the right. I think it's a little over 12 in front of the driver, and it looks like it's in kind of one display here. It looks good. It works fine. It actually works really well because you can use touch or the iDrive system. But I said this is somewhere between a sports car and a grand tourer, and that's because a combination of the powertrain and the size of the vehicle and the level of comfort it affords you. So BMW M4, straight six, 3-liter twin turbocharged, 473 horsepower because this is the regular M4. This isn't a comp, this isn't a CS, this isn't a CL or any of the crazy, oh shit. Sorry, there is a car up on the hill there. Respect the crest, folks. I don't know how you people do this. Just drive normally. That was backwards up the hill too. That's really fucking impressive. Might have to get a shot of that on the way back by. So, I'm driving a car with 473 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, manual gearbox, and I'm not going to crash. I can confidently say that. So the engine is a straight six, is smooth in its power delivery. It's really nice. Horsepower is up high. Torque is nice and even throughout the rev range. And it does sound good, though I think part of that is artificial. I don't know for sure, but it just feels like there's some artificiality. But like just enough where it gives the tone an extra growl. So it's not egregious, it just gives it a bit more punch, and I can kind of appreciate that. Part of what makes this car special though is the fact it has a 6-speed manual gearbox. It's rear-wheel drive, it's a 6-speed manual. That is a wonderful combination. Front engine, rear drive, manual gearbox is just kind of the best. Now, it's not a full sports car because it also weighs 3,800 pounds. Yes, it has adaptive damping suspension. You can adjust the brake feel, the steering feel, the engine responsiveness and noise. You can adjust a bunch of stuff, but it does a good job of hiding the weight, but the weight is still there. You can't deny physics as much as the tires and all that would like you to believe you can. But the steering feel is nice, though I do think this optionally extra carbon fiber Alcantara steering wheel, it's too chunky for my taste. I like a thinner steering wheel. That Porsche just went by with red and green flashing Christmas lights, which was kind of funny. I like a thinner wheel, but what I do like on the wheel is that you have your M1 button and your M2 button, and these are programmable, and if you adjust things, you can press and hold, and it auto-adjusts without diving back into menus. So M1 you can make sporty but safe, and M2 you can make dipshit mode. I have it in dipshit mode, but it's not full dipshit, where this has the M dynamic driving ability, so I can alter how much traction control it gives me or how much slip angle. There's a drift analyzer, which is hilarious to sell a car that grades your drifts. I'm not going to drift on Angela's Crest because I just talked about how I'm not going to end up like other people. So there's a lot of fun sports car-like stuff, but then the seats are plush, the Harman Kardon system sounds great. Even though it is fantastic and fast and quick, it's also great at just kind of cruising and eating up the miles. You will arrive at the other end of a long drive still feeling fresh, and that's where it's partly Grand Tour. So it has all the tech, then it still has the analog nature. It has some sports car ability, but it's also very good at being a Grand Tour, and I don't think it's exceptional at either, though I would honestly slightly lean it more Grand Tourer than sports car. Yes, you can do crazy things, but you have to get up to the comp and the CS to go crazier. 520 to 500, and what's the CS now is like 540 something horsepower. So if you really want to push it, and you spend a lot more money to do so. This one starts in the 80s. This one, as tested, is like 97, and a lot of that is paint. So you can get these very easily on the good side of $100,000, which is nice to hear, because one of the more recent sports cars I was in was the Porsche 911, the base model 911, and I fell in love with that car. And if you had to say you have to pick price not factored in, 911, the 911 feels like an extension of your soul on the road, where that's why I can't give this a full sports car thing, because you're still wrestling a lot of weight. It's 911 all day long, but then you bring price and you're like, oh shit, that's right. The one I drove was $148,000 as tested for the base model. This is with a few options, including basically paint to sample paint, and it's under 100, which that feels like a magic number in this era of fancy, sporty Grand Tourer type vehicles. And I give BMW credit for that. I will never give them credit for that front end. That's the big knock I have against the car. Everything else, frankly, it's pretty delightful. I give BMW a lot of shit over the years, and I think for a fairly good reason. They've moved away from their ultimate driving machine status, but they're selling a shit ton of cars, and once you sit in the cars, the interior is fantastic. The driving experience is wonderful. I said in a video with the BMW i7 M60, it is one of the nicest cars I've ever driven, period. Full stop. I loved that car, and you can get it in a custom color called Boston Green, which is literally like, come on, now that's pandering at that point. But this thing feels great. Oh, we get some drifts. Nice, yeah. Well, one drift, okay, good effort. And if you're gonna do it, I guess a skid pad like that is a good place to do it. So, sum up, because I am officially rambling here on Angela's Crest in this rather delightful machine. I think for what you get, I'm surprised it's $100,000, or I'm surprised it's under $100,000 in a very good way. That feels like a rare thing to see in a car that's desirable like this. I think the paint is fun. It's not for me, but if you had it, I would smile and applaud your choice for being bold and brave and different. Interior is great. This is a perfect balance between sporty and Grand Tourer. You could take it to the track, and you could drive home from the track very comfortably. It's a sweet little ride. Don't do that.